I also like to put flawed people in a pressure cooker. And one of the great American playwrights, Maxwell Anderson, said, the secret is you take a character that people can identify with and then put them through a series of circumstances and consequences that have altered their life forever. And I think audiences like that kind of story, whether it's comedy or drama or tragedy, and I like to do those stories. Unfortunately, Nick and Nick like those stories and are great actors and have both made it happen for me on other movies.
I wanted Kyle Miller to be somebody that would, in your mind, be the last person that could rise against this untenable situation that he finds himself and his family in. And so one of the ways to do that was to make the voice just a little bit, he's kind of like I say that he's sexually confused. He's someone that you wouldn't expect to defend himself and his family in that situation. So I wanted to play with that. I have lived through the nightmare. I have actually been one of those people who has had a home invasion, and it was 2 in the morning. I was living in Orange County at the time. I was asleep with my wife. My 2-year-old at the time was in another room, and I opened my eyes, and there was a naked man wearing my leather jacket eating a fudgesicle in front of my bed. No. I know it sounds funny, but and it is if I look back on it, but it was horrifying. And I immediately jumped out of bed. He ran into my bathroom. I don't know why he was naked, maybe because he had swum up onto the dock and crept his way into the house, and he had no clothes. And I said, "What are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my house? You get out of my house." And I did talk him to get out, and then some people came and they put him into a facility, and I didn't press charges because I realized he wasn't all there. But the folks, the cops said to me that if he had broken into anybody other's house in this neighborhood, he would have been shot. But I don't have a gun in my house, and I'm always going to try to talk you out of violence if I can. So, but it was horrible for my wife. It was a terrifying night, and I could never really stay in that house after that. I mean, Joel is somebody that I feel we have a terrific rapport. I work well with Joel because we have similar tastes. I like the kinds of movies he makes. I like his interests in the grand guignol and horror. He has a style in the directing process where there's a feeling of chaos on the set, and chaos can be very can make an actor feel very confident because you can try anything, you can express anything, and you know that Joel will give you a shot at it. He also has one of the most remarkable senses of humor of anybody I've ever worked with.
If you have a franchise, a sequel, a brand name, it's much easier to actually be financed with $200 million to make one of those, because the upside might be enormous. What's shrinking is the great adult, the solid center of adult drama, which made Hollywood and cinema all over the world great. There's very few of them every year, and most of them come out on top of each other 1 week before Christmas. But the independent movie has all the problems. You don't know if you're going to get distribution, but that's where the material is, where you can take real risks. I don't think that some of the movies that any of us made in the past would ever get made in the climate today. And